Okay, welcome back to the next instalment. So for this one, it's postcard 3. You're going to need to make 2 of them, and it includes something called Mosaic Crochet, which you may or may not have come across before. So it can be a little bit tricky. It's not difficult, but you do have to be quite careful and methodical with it. So this video's potentially going to be quite slow so that you can follow it more easily. So we initially start with yarn E, which is the ecru, and we're going to make a chain of 50 to start with. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to just keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, I like to double check on these because I either end up doing too many or not enough. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 26, 28, 30, 36, 38, 40, 42, 50. Lovely. So I've got my chain of 50, and now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So that's not this one. I like to go in, there's this ripple down the bottom, so I'm missing the first one, going into the second. Oops, not very clear, that was it. Start that one again, so don't want to split the yarn. And then, so I've been in that one, I'm going into this one, because we're going to basically, this first line is relatively simple. You're working across, doing 1 double crochet into each stitch. So we're going to work all the way across. Don't worry that your work will twist a little bit, that's quite normal. Okay, so we're nearly at the end here, so you do need to make sure that you work all the way on and finally into that last stitch there. So you can see how you've got something slightly curly. It will flatten out, but don't worry if it curls straight back up again, it will soon flatten. Now for row 2, you turn your work, because we're working rows, not rounds, and you do a 1 chain and then a double crochet into the same one. The 1 chain doesn't count as a stitch, it's just there to get us started on the next row. So we're going to do double crochets again all the way along the line. So you should have 49 double crochet across the row, and it's rows 2 through to 6 that are just the double crochets. So I'm going to let you carry on with those. When you get to the end of row 6, we will be changing yarn colours, so that's the only slight difference, is that for that last pull through we're going to change onto the blue. So we'll come back to you in a moment with at the end of round 6 and get started for round 6 and into round 7. Okay, we'll see you in a moment. Okay, so here I am at the end of row 6, and as I mentioned before, we are adding in our other colour. So we've now got some of the French Navy coming in, and that goes through there. Don't cut the yarn off. We're going to be doing something now where we're working 2 rows in blue, and then we'll almost go back over that, working 2 rows in the ecru. So you'll see what I mean as we build it up and how the Mosaic Crochet builds up. As I mentioned, it will be quite a slow bit of video, this, because it's quite tricky to do, and I would hate to show you something that was incorrect. So I've got this. Okay, so row 7, 1 chain, which I'm going to work with the tail, because as you know, I like to be able to pull things a bit tighter on that, and then get the hand set up, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. It does feel a little bit messy, but don't forget we will be going over the ends. There will be a border on this, so if there's a slightly messy section or not as neat as you would like, we will be covering that up with a border later on. So we're now going to do a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we're going to miss 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and work into the 11th stitch. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so don't worry about that. That's exactly what you're supposed to have. Then we do a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. Miss 2 stitches, and then we're going to work 5 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Work another 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, and work another 6 double crochet. 4, 5, 6. Then another 3 chain, again miss 2, and then I'm going to work 5 double crochet. 5. Okay, we're now going to do a chain of 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're missing 9 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and working 1 double crochet into that 10th stitch. So that's what you're aiming for. And just to give you a bit more of an idea on this, I've just printed this off. So we have written instructions and a chart with this, and what I want to point out here is that the numbers across the bottom, 1 to 49, are all these stitches here, and you can see how we've started to create the bottom of the word love here. So that's where we're creating this. The other very valid point here is that each of these squares is 1 stitch this way, but it's actually worth 2 rows. So you have got, we're going to turn around and do the blue again so that you always end up changing yarn at the same end. Once you've worked a little bit, it will really become obvious, but basically if you're following the chart, don't forget that each of these squares is at least 2 rows high. So that's just something to be really aware of. So we're now going to turn and do row 8. So 1 chain, 1 double crochet. It is a little bit fiddly till you've got some more yarn to work with, and you may try not to get too wound up in one another for the 2 colours. So I've done a 1 double crochet there, and then another 10 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chain, and then 1 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we've got a chain of 3, and again you miss the chain space, and this time you're going to work 6 double crochet again, so it's basically stitch for stitch on the row below. So you're working back across the line. Three chain, skip those, and you're working 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 chain, miss the loop, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got a nice long chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you're right back at the beginning. There we go. Oh, missed it. They are a little bit fiddlier, these end stitches, but just take your time. So it's a double crochet, but you do need to rejoin yarn E. So as neatly as possible, bring that up the side and pull that through for the last stitch. As I mentioned before, don't cut anything off because you're going to need it for the next one. So that's rows 7 and 8, and you can see there how you worked that. So I'm just going to pause it for a second and then we'll come back with rows 9 and 10. Okay, so we're back with row 9. We do a 1 chain and 1 double crochet in the very first stitch to anchor everything in place. Okay. We're then going to work 1 mosaic treble into each of the next 10 stitches. So that's wrap as normal, but then you're going in here and you need to end up with those at the back. You're not looping them in any way, you're just shoving them to the back out of the way, and then work your treble. And then the same again. So as long as you've got those running along the back there, out of the way, that's good. And we need 10 of these. Check, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, and we're at the beginning of the E. We're then going to put 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do a chain of 3. We're going to miss these 2 here, and we're doing mosaic trebles again into that cream row below there, and make sure that you come back up in front of them. That's 1, and then again into the next stitch. Then a chain of 3, oops, 1, 2, 3, miss 2 stitches and work a double crochet into that 3rd one, which is the central stitch, and then another chain of 3. Then we're working mosaic stitch into the 2 stitches here in the middle. Then we're going to miss 2 stitches. Oh, chain 3 of course. Got to get across there. So miss 2 stitches and work 2 double crochet there, another set of 3 chain, and we're working another 2 mosaic trebles. We go to the row below, the rows below. Okay, then we've got 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 stitches left there, so we're going to do another 3 chain, miss those 2 stitches, and then we're working mosaic trebles again, and this time we need to do 9 of them. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you need to find the first stitch there and work a double crochet into that one. And you can see how you're starting to create the word love across there. Right. So we turn and start row 10. That's one chain, doesn't count as a stitch, and then one double crochet into that first stitch. And then we're going to work a double crochet into each of these 9 stitches that we just created, mosaic trebles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we have a chain of 3. We missed 2 stitches there, or the loop that's here, and then we're going to work 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, which were the mosaic trebles, and then you've another 2 stitches, which if I just turn the work over, you can see that you have a set of 5 cream stitches there on the front. So 3, so you're going into the cream, not the blue. 4, 5. And then 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, miss your 3 chain space and 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So you can see how you're building up on top of what you did on the row below. Then chain of 3, and here sometimes it might just pay to sort of turn it over because you are working very much into the row below, doing double crochets over the top of the other stitches. So it's 2 double crochet there. Then we come to another chain of 3, and this time it's just a 1 double crochet at that point because we've just got 1 in the middle there, so 1 for 1, and then a chain of 3, and then 2 double crochet, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches, and another chain of 3, and now we've actually got 15 stitches. I'll just turn that over. You can see we've got these here plus the mosaic trebles there, so I'm going to actually work a total of 15 stitches starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and when you get to that final stitch, that 15th stitch, you need to, as neatly as possible, rejoin with the blue yarn. And that's what you'll have created so far. So I'm just going to pause the video again to give people time to work their way through that, and then we'll pick up again in a moment with the next row, which is, I believe, row 11. Okay, so we're back with row 11, which is using the blue yarn. So we've joined the yarn in and we're doing a 1 chain and 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row. Then we're going to chain 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to miss these 10 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and we're going to work a double crochet to each of the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to work 2 mosaic trebles into these 2 stitches. So this time we're going down below into the blue. And again, into that blue there. Bring it back in front of the cream. So the chains always need to end up across the back. There. So then we've got a chain of 3. We're going to miss 2 stitches there, and we're going to go to do the mosaic trebles into these blue stitches. So another one there. A chain of 2. We're missing 1 stitch, and then we're going into here. This is creating the V, this one. Then we have chain of 3. Going to miss 2 stitches and work 2 mosaic trebles again into the navy blue, 2 rows down. Then we chain 3, miss the next 2 stitches and work the mosaic trebles. Okay. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're actually missing 5 stitches, so that's those 2 plus the next 3, and we're going to be working mosaic trebles again. 1, 2. Then a chain of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jumping right to the end of the row, so we've missed 9 stitches in total here. So we jump right into that very final stitch and create our double crochet to anchor it at the end, and you can see how things are starting to take shape there. So that was row 11, and then we're going to roll straight into row 12. So I've got a 1 chain, then turn my work around and work 1 double crochet into that double crochet at the end. Chain of 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Miss your loop of 10 and then work 2 double crochet, 1 into each of those stitches. And then a chain of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again double crochet into each of these next 2 stitches. So you might sort of find it a little bit easier if you almost fold this down a little bit and remembering to do the right number of chains between them. So we've got a chain of 3, 2 double crochet into the stitches on the row below, and another chain of 3 and 2 stitches, 2 double crochet stitches into the row below. Okay, then we need 2 chain, and we're only actually missing 1 stitch there, which is why we've just done 2 chains, and then 2 double crochet, and then 3 chain, and we need to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. So here, that's where you're going to start working. So there's 2 stitches there, 1, 2, and then another 4 here. So that's your 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's quite easy sometimes to miss the ones on the row below there when you've got some here as well. So do just take care when you're doing that. Then we've got a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're working our double crochet into the last stitch at the end again, and because we're about to change to do a cream pair of rows, we're going to change to the cream yarn. So again, turn it over, show you where you've got to at that point. So it always looks a little bit odd while you've got these sort of extra blue chains flopping around, but of course they keep disappearing into the background. So I'm going to let you catch up with that bit, and then we'll be back shortly to show you the next 2 cream rows. Okay, so we're back with row 13, and it's going to be a cream row. So again, you do a 1 chain and the 1 anchoring double crochet at the side. Then we're doing the mosaic trebles, and we're going to do 1 into each of the next 10 stitches. So that's your first one. Don't forget you need these to come in front of those, so push those to the back and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we've got 3 chains. We're going to miss 2 stitches and work 2 double crochets into the middle of that set of 6. So there. Okay, we've missed 2, worked into 2, we've missed 2. We're going to do a chain of 3. And then we're working the mosaic trebles again into these cream stitches, 2 rows down. So that's 1, 2, always making sure to push the blue work in this case to the back. Then another 3 chains and another 2 mosaic trebles. I got them in the, oh sorry, no, 1 right there. Yeah, 3 chains, it's a 1 mosaic treble, I beg your pardon on that one, not 2. And then another 3 chains and 2. 1, 2. So the 1 mosaic treble is down the centre of the V there. So another 3 chains and then another 2 mosaic trebles. And then another 3 chains. And this time we're doing 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 mosaic trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 3 chain and mosaic trebles into the 9 lower cream ones. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then finding this end stitch again. Don't, just be careful you don't end up working into part of the chain. So you're looking for the very end stitch and a double crochet. Okay, and then as before you turn, do a 1 chain and a 1 double crochet at that point. And then you do a double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you had your original double crochet plus another 9, then 3 chains and 1 double crochet into each of these 5 on the row below. 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 3, 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and another chain of 3 and into these 2 stitches. Chain of 3, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then another chain of 3, 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, another chain of 3, and another double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Then we've got another chain of 3 and 1 double crochet into each of the next 11, which takes you right to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and as you get to number 11, don't forget to swap over to your blue yarn, and that's where we've got to at the end of row 14. So I'll just take a quick pause now and prepare for the next 2 rows, and we'll see you again in a moment. So here we are with row 15. So we start with a 1 chain and a double crochet, and then we have a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to miss these 10 stitches and start working into the blue of the row below. So we want 2 mosaic trebles, and then 2 normal double crochet, and then another 2 mosaic trebles here. Then a chain of 3 and 2 mosaic trebles, a chain of 2 because we're just missing 1 stitch there, and then we're going for mosaic trebles again, and another chain of 3, and then another 2 mosaic trebles, and then 2 double crochet because we're going to close the top of the O in love, and then 2 mosaic trebles, then we have a chain of 6, I believe, yeah, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We missed these 5 stitches here, and we're going for mosaic trebles again. Then our final chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we've got 1, crochet anchoring us at the end. So that's how it should look for that row. We're then going to move straight on to row 16. I'm tangled up in my yarn. So row 16, we've got one chain and we have got 10, oh, didn't do my double crochet, one chain, one double crochet, always into that first one, and then a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then with a double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, chain of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. So that starts with the 2 longer ones, the 2 mosaic trebles of the row below. So it's double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another 2 there, 5, 6. So that's the top of the O in the row below. Then we have a chain of 3 and 2 more double crochet, and then this one is just a chain of 2 and then 2 more double crochet, and then we've got a chain of 3, and we're going to work 6 double crochet like we did before, and this is the top of the E. So we've gone into, the first one is in the top of one of the mosaic trebles of the row below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then chain 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Find the end, that last stitch there, and a double crochet, not forgetting to swap to the cream yarn at the end. And that's what you should be showing so far. Okay, we'll see you in a moment for rows 17 and 18. Okay, back with row 17. I'm using the cream yarn. So as normal, we start with 1 chain and 1 double crochet. Then we're going to work a mosaic treble into each of the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, what's happening with my tension there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that gets us to the E. We're then going to work a double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches starting here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 mosaic trebles into the cream row below, making sure you push the blue to the back. So that's that bit. Then we have got 2 double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 1 mosaic treble there in the middle of the V, and then another 2 double crochet. Okay, then we've got 2 more mosaic trebles, and 6 double crochet going across the top of the O. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we've got 5 mosaic trebles next going into the cream row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then 2 double crochet into the top of the L, and then we've got 9 mosaic trebles in the cream row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1 double crochet. Where are we? There we are. To anchor the end. So you can see how you've finished the word love there. Now for row 18, this is a lovely simple row because you just do a 1 chain and then we're going to work 49 double crochet all the way across the row. If at any point you're finding that one row isn't working for you, I recommend just laying your work down and actually looking at the row below and checking your instructions on the row below. Because I did find when I had gone wrong when I was practicing this, that it was because I'd done a previous row wrong. So the instructions for the row I was working was correct, but I'd made a mistake on the row below. And it's very easy to do. These are, or can be, quite complex rows. Hopefully, by seeing them done visually, that will make it so much easier for many people. Because even with the best written instructions, it is still possible to go wrong. So it's, I find, far easier to watch somebody. Now getting there with the, towards the end of this row. Okay, we're at the end of this row, but you are not going to change your yarn. You're going to complete the 49th stitch. So that's row 18. Rows 19 and 20 are exactly the same. You're doing 2 more rows where you just do a chain and do 49 double crochet. At the end of row 20, you need to change the yarn again to the G, and we start to make the next set of letters. So I'm going to pause there and I'll rejoin you when we get down to row 21. Okay. Right, here we are at the end of row 20, and I've joined in the new colour of yarn at the end. So we're about to start row 21 and bring in the new letters. So we have a 1 chain and the double crochet into that first stitch. Then we're going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's moving. And then we are going to miss 11 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're going to work into the 12th stitch there. We're doing 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. We're going to do a chain of 3, and then we're going to miss 2 stitches and do another 2 individual double crochet. Then chain of 3, miss 2 stitches and work 5 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 3 chain. Again, miss 2 stitches and do 2 double crochet. To be getting a little bit tangled there. I'll deal with that in a minute. Chain of 3. Okay, and then miss 2, and we're working 7 double crochet. Here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we've got a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're missing 10 stitches then, so let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, lovely. And we're working 1 double crochet into the end. So this has set up the next word, which is the word with. Just need to sort that little bit of a snag out so that it doesn't cause me too many problems. Don't need to be tangled halfway through your crochet. Okay, so we're now going to turn and work row 22. So that's 1 chain and 1 double crochet. Chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 1 double crochet into each of the 7 that we did on the row below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain of 3, and then 2 double crochet on top of the 2 in the row below, and then we've got another chain of 3, and this time we've got 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 3 chain, another 2 double crochet, 3 chain, another 2 double crochet, and then we've got a final chain of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then my double crochet, except I've forgotten to change my yarn, so let's change over. So move all that out of the way. You can see there how you've set the next line up. So we'll be back again in a moment and we'll do the next 2 rows. Okay, back with row 23, and we're going to take this one quite slowly because it is a slightly more tricky row in my opinion. So we've got 1 chain and a 1 double crochet. Then we're going to do 11 mosaic trebles. So that's going back into this cream row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we have a chain of 3 and 2 mosaic trebles. And then another chain of 3 and another 2 mosaic trebles. Then we go slightly different because we're going to have 3 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Then a chain of 3, miss 2 stitches and work 2 mosaic trebles. 2, and then another chain of 3, and another 2. Mosaic trebles. Oops, didn't catch that one properly. Do make sure you catch under 2 loops. Then we've got another chain of 3. We're going to miss 2 stitches and we're going to work a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Another chain of 2, miss 1 stitch, work a double crochet into the next, then a chain of 3, and then we're working 10 mosaic trebles at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a double crochet to anchor that final stitch. Okay, so here we've got 3 double crochet and then 2 in this to anchor at various points. So then we turn round, do row 24. So I've got 1 chain, 1 double crochet, and then we're doing 1 double crochet into each of the next 10 stitches of the row below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 chain, and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 chain, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 3 chain, then we've got, just double check where I am there, one double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, another 3 chain, and then again we've got 2 double crochet, then another 3 chain, and 1 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and you can see there if I fold that back you've got 2 more stitches there to work into. Another chain of 3, individual double crochet, another chain of 3 and 1 double crochet into each of the next 12. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And remembering that at the end of the row, you need to change to the final colour. So by the end of row 24, that's how your work should be looking.